Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the F1 2019 Career Mode series with Williams. We are nearing the end of Season 1 for this Career Mode series as we head in towards the Japanese Grand Prix for this Season 1 Career Mode. We're still bottom of the pack, we're still last of the cars, and just our focus right now is just to save our upgrades and just get a better car for Season 2, obviously. We're so close to recovering all of our upgrades for the aerodynamic sides, but we're still going to upgrade them when the season comes to an end. I don't think we're going to catch Toro Rosso by the end of the season. It'll be a miracle if we do, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. But it's time for the Japanese Grand Prix.
And a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. And keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Can we begin by having a chat about Charles Leclerc? Everything's on the line here today and the title hangs in the balance. So how do you think they'll be coping with all that pressure?
Well, I try not to think about the result too much. The worst thing you can do in this situation is think about all the what-ifs. What if I get hit going into turn 1? What if I get a penalty? What if I finish outside the points? If you let any of those kind of worries get to you, you can't focus on the job. So staying in the right mindset will be critical today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly, and Hamilton, Weber, Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, and Kimi Raikkonen, Butler, Norris, Carlos Sainz, and Magnussen, Russell, Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Thomas and Lance Stroll, Grosjean and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now,
not a great starting position for us, but hopefully we can improve the situation throughout the race.
P17 for the start of this race. Qualifying was probably one of the worst qualifying sessions of the entire season. I did 2 laps. The first one was... I'll just say that my qualifying lap was decent, but it was just the second lap that just ruined it all for me, I think. The first sector on my second lap, I was a 10th up, and then just in the second sector, I just lost all the time. And by the time I finished the lap, I was like 3 tenths off, so it was one of those bad laps, honestly. But right now, the best thing we can do is maybe try and do an alternate strategy. I think the softs are quicker, only by like 1.3 seconds though, so I think we're going to go from softs to mediums or hards. So softs to mediums for this race. I can't wait to get started, so here we go. So let's do it. Time for the formation lap, 17th place. I didn't expect a lot of people to get grid penalties, but we did. And that's why we've got 17th place. Goal, obviously, finish the race. I don't think we're quick enough to score points. That hasn't been the case for the second half of the season since pretty much Monza or Belgium. We've just been off the pace massively. So, if we can score 15th or 14th, that'll be a good result. If we can get to near top 10, that'll be good. All right, George Russell qualifies me. Well, he out-qualifies me again in this Career Mode series. All focus is on Season 2 as we get ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. It's a decent start there from us. Perez in the Renault gets a decent start along with George Russell. Lance Stroll tries to go around the outside into turn 1. I've got to be very careful of this spoon corner, turn 1 and turn 2. I don't want to crash into anyone. I've got to avoid Lance Stroll as we head in towards the snake section of the track. I love these series of corners. In the wet, FP3 was wet. It was intermediate conditions. We nearly take out Stroller as we head towards. Just had to avoid Lance Stroller. He's going way slowly. Right, if Russell brakes early, I'm going to overtake him on the inside of the hairpin. There you go. That's 16th place. 16th place for the start of this race. Not bad. Nearly ending lap 2. And I think Perez has a run on Magnussen. Car feels decent right now. Probably the best it's felt all weekend. No DRS yet. I think Lance Stroll might get me here. Let's see how... it's Mercedes versus Mercedes engine. On the inside. Oh, he spun. Alright, so let's see what happens here. So Lance Stroll goes on the inside line. He's pretty much overtaken me. I used the line, the classic mistake that the AI have. Oh, there was more contact. Who was that with? Was that with my teammate? Let's see. So there's Russell with the Toro Rosso. Oh, it is Russell. Alright, so I'm behind Magnussen. The safety car is coming in this lap. I've done a very good job of saving my fuel and restoring the ERS. So I think I've got around about 2.3 laps of fuel on board, which should allow me to go rich for the foreseeable future. And plus also, I think Jeff, I'm not sure what Jeff's... Jeff might have said something on the radio there about extending the tyre life. The way we go here for the restart of the Japanese Grand Prix. Terrible restart from us there. Could not capitalise whatsoever on Magnussen. And I think Albon might get us. And on to turn 1 or turn 2, so he's going to have to wait. But the goal is to overtake Magnussen. And then, oh, nearly lost the back end there. Okay, Albon is getting held up here by someone there. I think that's Webber. No, Norris. It's Lando Norris in the McLaren. I'm going to try and dive down the inside if he leaves the space. It's my signature overtaking maneuver on this track inside of the hairpin. Just like Kamui Kobayashi, if you guys remember. And Lando Norris is the next victim of my overtaking list. Pace is surprisingly decent in this Williams car as we head towards lap 10. And try and dive it down. Norris is inside. He locks up that I lock up. Bit of contact on the side pod, but that's P14. What a great start to this race. And Magnussen, he's on the medium, so he's not really in this race with us. Catching Grosjean, but Grosjean, we're not racing Grosjean, he's on a completely different strategy. He's on the alternate strategy from the mediums to the hards, I think. Anyway, as we come in for one and only stop of this race, from the soft tyres to the mediums. Is it mediums or hards? Oh no. And it's the mediums, okay. So the medium tyres go on, and I think that is Magnussen's done us. Wow, Magnussen pitted in the same time we did. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, he was on the alternate strategy with Grosjean. Why is he pitted? Oh, what's happened there? Lap 14. Tried my best to get a good outlap in. Don't know if my outlap was good. There's Grosjean. Oh, signed. And Norris making contact with Grosjean. Trying to go around the outside of Grosjean. Have I got the move? Yes. Right, come on, we have the pace. We're quicker than Norris. Just over 10 laps left. Around the outside of the McLaren. Don't mind if I do. Here's a replay. Look at that, just slipstream. Pull out last minute to the outside. And there was a little bit of contact. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact.
seconds.
I don't think we're going to be scoring some points today. Obviously, that was never the goal. We clearly don't have the pace to score points. If we can just finish 13th, 14th, Hulkenberg's in a completely better car than us. And there goes Norris as well. And try and switch back. The door closes though, so. Again I missed the apex on the first part of the chicane. Lap 26, that's really hit my entry, my exit. And there goes Lando Norris. And try and get him back, closes the door once again. Sebastian Vettel wins the Japanese Grand Prix. He had to win if he wanted to keep his title hopes alive. I think Ferrari are the Constructors' Champions. But anyway, we come home in 15th place. No points. But you know what? For our standards, that was actually a good performance by Williams.
What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
It's another Ferrari 1-2 in this F1 2019 Career Mode Series. This time it's Sebastian Vettel, and he's ended that massive run from Charles Leclerc. If you've been following this series, Charles Leclerc has been on a massive winning streak in this Career Mode, and pretty much he could have won the title in Japan, but we move on to Mexico, either Mexico or USA, for this championship decider. 1-2 for Ferrari. Hamilton is in third place, Bottas in fourth. And it looks like Ferrari are the Constructors' Champions. Our goal for the rest of the season is just to save our upgrades and just hope for the best for Season 2, and hopefully some teams start to trip up when it comes to upgrades and lose some of them. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button. 30 likes for the return of Career Mode. I know I haven't been posting recently, but I'm back to finish Season 1. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ferrari are the champions, but who will be the driver's champion? Will it be Vettel or Leclerc? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.